Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. Good morning to all of our friends joining us on live stream. Our November worship life brings us into contact with the many gifts connected to gratitude. This morning, we explore the links between gratitude, compassion, and boundaries. Also today at Throop is our congregational envisioning potluck that it will take place immediately following the worship service. You are all warmly invited to join in. It'll be through the double doors at the back of the sanctuary. Our thanks go out to intern minister Nick for coordinating this as his leadership project in seminary, and for all of the small group leaders and facilitators. Thank you so much. And if you want to join online, you can do that. And my understanding is there is a link on the order of worship that will take you right into the Zoom room for the congregational envisioning. And for those of you that have found a spiritual and religious home at Throop, next Sunday is our fall new member ceremony, and you are warmly invited to take part in that. And if you're curious about how to join the church, I would be happy to talk to you after the worship. And if you're new to Throop, we love to stay in touch. You can fill out one of the info cards that you'll see in the pew back in front of you. Welcome to Throop. And each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of prayer and healing. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, to this community, and to each other. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
And as we continue to join together, we sing our opening hymn, For All That Is Our Life, number 128 in the Gray Hymnal. And I invite you all to rise and sing out as body and spirit allow, number 128.
and praise, for all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life.
Take a moment, turn to your neighbor, and welcome them into worship. This is actually worship today. Just continue. We just decided this is going to be the worship service. Enjoy.
For sorrow we must bear,
For
failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn. Fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing with thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
It is now time to recite together the Throop Promise to Our Planet, which can be found in your order of service. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. For our wisdom from our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we'll be taking something from our great hymnals, actually, number 512, We Give Thanks This Day. If we could practice this together, the congregational response is, we give thanks this day. We give thanks this day. For the expanding grandeur of creation, world known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations, we give thanks this day. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, we give thanks this day. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, we give thanks this day. For our human community, our common past and future hope, oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, we give thanks this day. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, we give thanks this day. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, we give thanks this day. For human liberty and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, we give thanks this day. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Amen.
We've been blessed by the presence of Lou Bloom in this congregation. Today we engage in a ritual of farewell to Lou and offer Lou our blessings on their move to Oregon. And Lou, will you come forward along with Ms. Seven? One of our ministry goals at Throop is for each one of you to find a sense of deep belonging here in this congregation. That sense of belonging draws you into active engagement with the church through regular presence and worship, through involvement in ministry teams or board committees, and by sharing your time and talent. And through all those things, you all get to know each other better, you become friends, and it's really hard to imagine a Throop without you. In our new member ceremony, we acknowledge that our church is not static, that this congregation continues to grow and evolve. And of course, that is true with each one of you. You continue to grow and evolve, and sometimes that includes a change of physical location. Lou, when you became a member of Throop, we asked you to do 3 things. 1, to love the world with us. 2, to tend to your own spiritual life, seeking truth and meaning. And 3, to help us live into our promise to our planet, nurturing the well-being of all life. And in your time with us, you have done all of that and so much more. You immersed yourself in Throop community life. You've helped us create a more vibrant, welcoming community. You blended your voice with our choir. You offered your gentle care to so many. You shared your wisdom through the social justice team. Through your writing, you helped me expand my understanding of love and how it moves through and with each one of us. And through your actions, you modeled living not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. And just as the congregation offered you blessings when you became a member, we now offer you our blessings as you follow your free spirit northward. And I've asked Ms. Seven to help me lead the congregation in this litany of blessings to you. And congregation, your response is, we offer our blessings to you. Let's try that together. We offer our blessings to you. Your voice joined ours in so many ways. May you find a kind and caring community in your new location.
We offer our blessings to you.
You nurtured important friendships here. May those friendships continue, and may you spark meaningful friendships in your new home.
We offer our blessings to you. Your caring, compassionate energy and spirit infused the culture here. There will always be a part of that energy and spirit at Throop. You changed us, and may you continue to transform others.
We offer our blessings to you.
We shared our spiritual journeys, and through that, practice seeing the wholeness and holiness of each person. May you carry this with you to Oregon.
We offer our blessings to you. We'll carry memories of each other in our hearts, and you will always have a home here at Throop. And we offer you a gift that is a sachet of dried herbs from our Throop Learning Garden, easy to pack, collected at our last new member ceremony. And we hope that these help you carry memories of this place and these loving people into your new home. We love you. And we nurture that same sense of belonging with our youngest ones. And each Sunday we sing them into the Kids Dig In program. Those lyrics are in your order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy. For you shall go out in joy and come back in peace. And come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy. For you shall go out in joy and come back in peace. And come back in peace. Blessed be.
And today's wisdom, inspired by our earth, is from the book The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and it is her guidelines of the honorable harvest. Know the ways of the ones who take care of you so that you can take care of them. Introduce yourself. Be accountable as the one who comes asking for life. Ask permission before taking. Abide by the answer. Never take the first one. Never take the last. Take only what you need. Take only what is given. Never take more than half. Leave some for others. Harvest in a way that minimizes harm. Use it respectfully. Never waste what you have taken. Share. Give thanks for what you have been given. Give a gift and reciprocity for what you have taken. And finally, sustain the ones who sustain you, and the earth will go on forever.
Life is the greatest gift of all, the riches on this earth. Life and its creatures, great and small, of high and lowly birth. So treasure it and measure it with deeds of shining worth. Mind is the brightest gift of all, its thought no barrier mars. It seeks creation's hidden plan, its quest surmounts the stars. It rains the wind, it chains the storm, it weighs the outmost stars. We are of life, its shining gift, the measure of all things. Up from the dust our temples lift, our vision soars on wings. For seed and root, for flower and fruit, our grateful spirit sings.
This church is our church. We support it through our gifts of time, our gifts of talent, and our gifts of treasure. We pause each week in worship for a moment of financial generosity and ask you to make a donation to Throop. You can give online. The directions are in the order of worship, or place your gift in the offering plate. If you are a first-time visitor, please let the offering plate pass you by. Thank you for supporting our life together. The offering will now be gratefully received.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those supporting today's worship service, Steve on live stream, Jack and Barbara as greeter and usher, Faith with the children's program, Tom, our coffee and conversation host, local bakery ID Eclair for donating pastries, all of those who brought non-perishable food items for the Friends Indeed food pantry. I'd like to thank Rachel and Ripley for creating this month's beautiful altarscape. And I'd also like to thank Nick, our intern minister, and for your leadership project that the congregation will engage in after worship today. I'd like to thank Malcolm and choir for your beautiful music, and Jessica for her administrative support. And I'd also like to thank Laramie, who brought our friend Audrey back into the garden. Some of you wondered, where has she been? She disappeared. Well, she needed some of her own health and well-being and fine-tuning, and she's coming back to a new location and surrounded by beautiful greenery and foliage. And I hope you all can make your way out into the garden and see if you can find her after service. And as we pause in recognition for all the ways we support our Throop community life, I invite you to share those words of gratitude that you'll find in the order of worship. With gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share. And in that same spirit of gratitude, we begin to turn inward. Our centering hymn is Find a Stillness, number 352, and the gray hymnal. And as you sing along, you may want to hold in your mind and heart a person or some part of our earth that you hold in special gratitude today. So much changes from day to day, from week to week. A few days ago, Rachel and I were with some of you in a class reflecting on beliefs and theologies. And we noted that the way we understand God or the afterlife or religion or death may be different today in our understanding than it was a year ago. And it may be different even next week. As Unitarian Universalists, a gift of our faith is that we get to fill in the blanks of what's important and meaningful to us. We keep this gift alive by listening to the stillness, by paying close and careful attention to what our heart is trying to tell us and show us. So I invite you all to take a gentle breath in together and exhale into the stillness of this space. And take a gentle breath in, filling your heart with the warmth and love of this gathered community. And exhaling, finding yourself grounded in this particular place. And as you notice your breath, in the moments when you pause and find the stillness, what do you notice around you? When you pause and find the stillness within the busy days of your life, what do you hear? When you pause and find the stillness and open yourself to what is in front of you, what astonishes you about the world? What do you hope to experience over and over again? And what is most tender to you? Holding those thoughts close, may each day bring you the opportunity to practice deep gratitude, bringing peace into your soul alongside people who matter to you, whose spirits harmonize along with yours. For all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Tell me what makes you weary. Tell me what lights up your eyes. I'll meet you there in the middle. We'll lay down and harmonize. Tell me what makes you peaceful. Tell me what you fantasize. I'm taking notes in the moonlight. We'll lay down and harmonize.
I'm awake for, I'm awake for you. 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 Tell me what keeps you honest. Tell me what keeps you inspired. I'll always come in the morning. We'll lay down and harmonize. Tell me what moves you ready. Tell me what moves your insides. I'll bring the soul, bring the steady. We'll lay down and harmonize. I'm awake for, I'm awake for you. 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 I'm awake for, I'm awake for you.
Beautiful. A couple of years ago, a friend sent me a surprise gift. I wasn't anticipating it. Just one day, a little box showed up on my front porch, and I was so excited because I didn't remember ordering anything. And there it was. And then I opened this magical gift, and I took it out, and I thought, this actually seems a little bit snarky, I'm gonna say, as a gift. Uh-oh is right. And if you knew this friend of mine who is a Unitarian Universalist minister, you would say, oh, sounds about right for that person. Do you have friends like that? They send you things or share things, and you're just like, is this meant to be a joke? What if you are that person? I could be talking about Jack, but I'm not. So it was a coffee mug that I got. I know you won't be able to see it, but it was this coffee mug. It's white. And it's got this little pink dancing figure on it with the word no. And this is on both sides. And I was like, what is my friend Ian trying to tell me here? Ha ha, so hilarious. So this was in 2021, and Throop at that time was in the midst of reopening after the pandemic. Some of you were here and remember what that was like. We had just hired Malcolm, and we were like, do we even remember how to sing all together? It was weird, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, and we were like, what do we do with the children? Where do they go? And where do we even worship? Do we worship in the sanctuary or in there? And that first year we were reopened, we actually did worship in 5 different modalities. It was a little confusing for me. So there we were, and troop leaders, as you can imagine, they were all wearing a lot of hats. And so my friend was not so subtly trying to remind me to stay focused on what sparks joy and brings meaning into my life and ministry. That's what that mug was about. But when the coffee mug showed up, I really didn't know how I felt about it. The coffee mug, not joy and meaning. Those I like. But the coffee mug, I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but it was like a little too tall. Do I really need that much coffee in the morning? Seriously? Randy's like, oh, yes, you do. Thank you. Sometimes I like 2 cups, though. That ends up being a lot. The rim, it was a little too thick. I didn't know how to navigate that. And the message, do I want to start my days out with a pink figure dancing no at me? I'm not so sure that's my vibe. So I gently tucked the coffee mug in the very back of my coffee mug drawer, and I would only pull this one out when my favorite mugs, the ones that had cats on them and flowers, and the one that has cats and flowers on it, I only pulled this one out when those were dirty. And those are sad days. So this month of November, our eco-spiritual worship theme is not coffee mugs. It is gifts of gratitude, with tree branches dropping their leaves, deciduous shrubs beginning to go dormant, though they are also feeling a little confused with the rain we received in October, with evening arriving before 5 p.m. and midnight coming at 6 p.m. I don't know how it does that, but these shorter days are a good time for us to note the small things in life we're grateful for. And that's what we're getting at this month of worship. We remind ourselves about the importance of nurturing gratitude immediately following the month of October, where we delved into the practice of compassion. In Unitarian Universalism, these 2 concepts, the concept of gratitude, the concept of compassion, we've linked those 2 ideas in one of our overarching value statement, and it's our value statement of generosity. And that statement says, generosity, we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, our presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Gratitude and compassion lead us into being able to practice generosity. So much of what I gleaned throughout my life about being a compassionate person was often grounded in the type of selfless compassion that seemed to prioritize other people's needs above your own. I grew up in a Southern Christian culture, and I was taught that being a faithful person, that living a religious life, it meant emulating those selfless acts of Jesus with those who mourned, who were sick, who were suffering. And growing up, I watched as many of the women, maybe all the women in my life, they put their own needs aside as they tended to others, and even as they tended to me. A lesson that could be taken from that is that giving away all of yourself is how we show a full generosity of spirit. Last month, we learned that the root word of compassion means to suffer with. We talked about compassion not only as something we feel, but compassion as an action verb. We are actively trying to accompany other people. But there are also limits to compassion. We can't give and give and give until we have nothing left for us. Boundaries, being able to say no, work to preserve relationships that we have with others, and preserve that relationship we have with ourselves. That last line in the Unitarian Universalist generosity statement gets at the importance of setting limits within our acts of compassion. That line states, our generosity connects us to one another through relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Those important components of living a life steeped in generosity and gratitude and compassion, they include healthy and clear guardrails around them and the forms of interdependence and mutuality, practicing give and take with ourselves and those in our circles of care and love. Robin Wall Kimmerer's Guidelines of the Honorable Harvest, which we heard earlier in the worship service, they mirror that sense of mutuality. Her guidelines also serve as a wonderful basis for a congregation or community's covenant of right relations, promises that we make about how we'll journey with one another. To those guidelines of Kimmerer's, I would add a few that honor our individual boundaries, that help us nurture our souls so that we can continue to enjoy a rich harvest in our own lives. And I created 5 add-on statements. 1, ask yourself permission before giving. Are you ready to part with your most valuable resources of time and energy? Abide by your answer. 2, give only what you're able. 3, when you are giving to others, are you doing so in a way that still leaves yourself feeling whole? 4, always tuck a little bit of energy aside just for you. And 5, take the time you need to replenish your well. You are needed for the long haul. What would you add? And can you choose one of these 5 or one that you've added to practice yourself in this month of November? When we can find a stillness and really listen for what we want to say yes to in our lives, both as individuals and as a church community, we enter into powerful space. When you look at your calendar, when you look at your to-do list, how many of your activities are directly related to what brings you joy and meaning and purpose? Howard Thurman, 20th century Christian theologian, urged us, don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive and go do it, because the world needs people who have come alive. Which responsibilities are you doing right now that you're doing because you've always done them and you're tuned out to whether or not they are helping you breathe an astonishing yes into your life? Churches can and should ask the same thing of themselves as an institution. This afternoon, right after worship, the congregational envisioning potluck is happening in Throop Hall through those double doors at the back of the sanctuary. Regular times to vision together as a church community as an important piece of healthy congregational life. This isn't the first time this congregation has done visioning together, and I hope it won't be the last. The ones that I have been involved in the past. One came early on in my ministry here in 2013 or 2014. I'm sure Michael and Jean were part of that. We were in the Colic Lounge, a circle of us in there, imagining what did we dream of for this congregation over the next 3 to 5 years. And then again in 2017, when you all were making the decision whether or not A, you wanted a called minister. I had been a contract minister. And then B, if you did want a called minister, did you want me to be that called minister? You voted that you did. And I was so glad and continue to be so glad. But you all also undertook visioning at that time because we wanted to move forward in a thoughtful, meaningful way together. And then today, this gathered group of people with Nick's leadership, you will get to envision, begin to discover, to name how it is this church wants to be in the world in the next 3 to 5 years. That is exciting, is it not? Yes. And so we're asking you to imagine what this church most wants to say yes to. What makes this church come alive today? And also, along with that, are there things that this congregation has been doing that no longer serve that particular vision, and that it's time to put to rest and say a thank you and gentle no to? Sometimes life becomes incredibly full of responsibilities and tasks and to-dos. We rush from project to project, class to class, book to book, without ever slowing down to really discern if we are living into our greatest potential. Over the past few months, I've noticed something about myself. And it is in the morning when I am getting that coffee ready and I pull open my magical coffee mug drawer. I am going for this no mug. First of all, I have decided I love it. And when it's dirty and I can't use it, I feel a little sad. And no, I don't wash it out so I can use it. I go to the next favorite one. It's become my coffee talisman, emboldening me, reminding me at the very start of the day to get clear on what's not mine to do so I can fully live into what really makes my heart sing. May you too allow no's to open up all sorts of amazing possibilities in your life. Your future self thanks you. And we're going to sing into that sense of yes and possibility for ourselves and for our church by singing together number 6, As Long as I Have Breath. And I invite you all to rise and sing out as your body and spirit allow. And I want to hear you on the yes, everybody. and take the hand or shoulder of someone near you. Our chalice is extinguished. Its light goes with us into all the many ways. We're going to say a no so that our yes to life can emerge free and glorious. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen, and blessed be.